Iris Coe in Singapore. It's always good to catch up with you. A lot of people who follow you here want to know how your court case is going. So just give us an update of where we left you last. Where was the case left in your last appearance?
Okay, sure. So I think we probably spoke around, I think it was before my March trials. And since then, we've had a total of 11 days from December all the way until March. And back in April, end of April, we went back to court for 2 days. Um, Unfortunately, the verdict was not told at that time. This was also days before our general elections in Singapore. So I
And they're
think,
doing that generally with their lawfare cases. They're delaying the case and then they're holding over the verdict so that you're left in a sort of suspended animation. It's designed to mentally wear us all down when we've been in lawfare. It's part of the playbook, I think.
well, I think one of the reason is that they needed, maybe the judge needed more time. Like with, I mean, to be honest, there was still a little bit left over from the previous case to do a summary because the dates were all fixed and ahead of time. So there were two dates in in April, I think April 30th and then 2nd of May. Those were the two dates that we went back. And so the judge said the verdict will be out on next Monday. The verdict meaning the part where the judge will decide whether the statements by the doctor can be admitted. So it's the mini trial wherein if there were threats, inducement and promise by the police officer. So that will be announced on Monday. And then the main trial will continue. Yeah, so I'm going back to court next week, 28th of July to 1st of August. So if anyone is coming to Singapore, you may want to come and see this trial. It's at the state courts at the courtroom is 15C. It's from 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily. And I think it will be very exciting.
It will, and to support you would be exciting. So anybody, even from around the world, I might talk to Jim Ferguson. He's doing some flying
Yeah.
around Europe at the moment. But for people who want to know all the details of your case, we will put our earlier interviews underneath here. There'll be many who remember you, how impressive you were in the interviews, but even more so in that long, drawn-out 11-day trial, literally a trial you were put through. How did you feel through it all, Iris? Did you feel calm?
Yeah, I felt very calm because actually none of my statements are being admitted because I didn't say anything that I really didn't do it. So there's nothing to incriminate me, right? During this whole process. So they were just initially admitting the doctor's statements. So already he's challenging, I think, 6 out of 8 of the statements that they are admitting. And so that's why there was a little trial within a trial in which they have determined if these statements were taken without threats, inducement, promise, and if they were taken in the right condition. And so what has been revealed then, I mean, during the 11 days was that prior to taking him to the police cantonment station, the doctor and his assistant were in MOH the day before, 9 a.m., I think, in the morning, all the way until the early hours. They were detained. There was no sleep, nothing. So that's just been a little touched on.
It was a form of torture. I mean, your resilience is extraordinary. You can see, I don't know how you do, you see beyond it to the ridiculousness of all of this. There's a kind of dark humor in it, but you are so resilient, Iris.
Thank you. I don't know how I do it also. I just
We'll put the other details about the case and perhaps I'll catch up with you after your next appearance. But tell me, Singapore, what is it like there? Because I'm getting information that it is getting more extreme. The controls, the the election, Bill Gates popped up there just as he appeared in the United Kingdom, just after Starmer was not voted in so much as installed by the World Economic Forum. There is clear evidence of installation of these World Economic Forum acolytes who are not really being voted in. I can't say if that's the case in Singapore, but it definitely looks the case in the United Kingdom. And then Gates turns up. Why did he turn up just after your Singaporean election? Do you know?
Well, he came here to start the Gates Foundation officially.
Oh,
And he turned up
no.
together with Tedros from the World Health Organization. Okay, so what happened was we had the election on the 3rd of May, which is a Saturday. And then by Monday, they were the two, you started seeing them in the news. Okay, Gates came, Tedros came, and we were like, holy smokes. That's why they were so eager to just come in right after our elections. And there was a lot of censorship during our election. It's just a very quick 9 days election. And one of the political parties was talking about the vaccines, issues about the vaccines, and the no jab go to jail law during Infectious Disease Act. And majority of that was being censored by the media. It wasn't even reported.
Just explain that, because they're trying to spread this cancer of control, of tyranny around the world. So that's to do with if there is another, I call it a planned demic, not a pandemic, a planned demic out of the World Health Organization under Tedros and Gates. If they plan another pandemic, they're saying in Singapore that you must take jabs. Is that what they're trying to say? If it's an emergency.
Yes. Well, there is, okay, actually, this Infectious Disease Act has been around since the 1970s, I believe. And actually, all along, the government has the power to put us in jail. It's just that they have refined more things in the 2023 amendments of the Infectious Disease Act. Okay, I mean, appointing a director general of health and all that, and then like fine $5,000, $10,000, 6 months jail, 1 year jail. Okay, and I also think one of the other things they have changed is the more powers to MOH to do investigations during Infectious Disease Act, which obviously they didn't have that power to detain people when they detain the doctor and his assistant.
Which is why you're in court. It is unbelievable how they're trying to push these powers, Iris. It's just, look, I was talking to the parents of baby Will the other day, and baby Will's father was telling me that he had been told, so this is hearsay, but we could check it out with flights potentially, but he'd been told when baby Will was being uplifted by the state, kidnapped by the state, and forced into that operation, and I won't go into the story now, but that story in New Zealand of that baby who wanted unjabbed, parents wanted unjabbed blood for his heart operation, that we believe went to over 200 million people around the world from all of the sites that uploaded that story and followed it. We were told that the height of that, I only learnt this the other day, Bill Gates flew in and talked to Jacinda Ardern for many, many hours. And somebody quite high up in the New Zealand Parliament contacted somebody close to the father of the baby and said, you must tell him I really respect what he's doing, the father, and he needs to know that Gates is saying you must not give an inch on baby Will, because it will upend the narrative that we have put out about how safe and effective the jabs are. And we cannot have that. So don't give an inch. That, if it is true, is absolutely horrifying. Gates interfering, this unelected billionaire who nobody likes and nobody I know even trusts, is wandering the world telling governments, telling elected officials what they can and cannot do in their countries. These are the sorts of things that now need to put the spotlight on Gates from America and his illegal activities, along with Fauci, along with Obama. These are people who should be locked up. I have no doubt about it at all. And if they come after you for me telling the truth, I'll definitely reach out to people high up in that American administration to say, this is not okay. I say to Singaporeans, it's not okay. Bill Gates coming in and telling your leaders how they must behave. They have no right to do that under your laws. That is,
Exactly.
Bill
And
Gates is not an emperor, but he acts as if he's some kind of little world emperor, a little world Napoleon.
well, back in November 2021, okay, there was an article in the Straits Times. There was an event in Singapore, okay, economic forum or something like that, okay. And Bill Gates was saying the people who are unvaccinated should be caned. We
Caned
caned. Like we are one of the countries in the world that still have caning, right?
as a
Capital
punishment.
as a punishment. So he's saying that we should be caned, the people who didn't take the jab. Okay. So, and then of course, I am suing this guy
I'm
now.
just needing to take this in. He's pretending to stand for health, and he is advocating that. That
Yes.
is not about health. That is about control to the point of tyranny. That is
Exactly.
about sadistic control. That is very revealing. Could you send me an article on that, please?
Yes, I will send you that. And because also I'm suing this guy, his name is Calvin Cheng. I will just tell you the bare essential because it's still ongoing. I don't want to jeopardize it. But this guy, his name is Calvin Cheng, he attacked me and my group, okay, since 2021 in August, after I wrote my petition, do not let vaccination status divide us. He said the people who signed my petition should be made into social outcast. And then I made a police report on him. And the police, after consultation with the AGC, decided not to do anything about it.
The AGC is what? Stands for?
The Attorney General.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So then after that, the jail and cane narrative came from him continuously for the last 4 years.
You mean he said also, like Gates, jail and cane?
Yes.
And
Because
was he
it's
referring to people who were unjabbed? Jail and
Yes.
cane,
Anti-vax.
anyone in Singapore who's unjabbed?
Yes. And because
What is his name again?
Calvin Cheng.
Do we know if he's a member of the World Economic Forum? Because all these people,
He is a young global leader of the World Economic Forum.
just like Jacinda Ardern, just like all of them,
All, including our president of Singapore.
Was there outrage when he was saying people who are unjabbed should be jailed and caned for saying, no, I have bodily autonomy. I will choose what goes in my body. I will not be raped by a man or by a needle. It's a form of rape to force something in a body.
Exactly.
Was there any outrage in Singapore when he kept repeating this?
Well, only the people in my group. Okay.
Oh, horrendous.
And he's really bad. Okay. So I finally sued him when he named me and he said that, Gomeng Singh, Iris Koh, Brad Boyer, okay, and their bunch of clowns are literally killing people, if you believe in our misinformation.
And they said you're killing people because why? You were saying you have a right to,
Yeah, I mean,
to your
basically,
own bodily autonomy.
exactly. And when I just sharing information, to them is misinformation. To them, their information is the correct one, and anybody who doesn't believe in them should be jailed and caned.
Jailed and caned. I bet you if Jacinda Ardern had been able to get away with that, she would have done the same, because this is what all these World Economic Forum young global leaders do. They say, that's Jacinda used those words, I am the single source of truth. You will listen only to me. It is directly out of George Orwell's 1984 book about absolute tyranny, about a sort of Stalinist form of controlling society.
Yeah, and I'll tell you more about this this saga, this lawsuit. So what happened was that there was a mini lawsuit within that, like a injunction, and then they tried to strike out the clowns. Okay, so these two things they won, so I had to pay some fee. Okay, so I was actually actively clarifying with his lawyer on the amount to pay and to vary the cost order and all that in December. Okay, and they just said no, we're not willing to to vary the order. And then after that, in January 6th, I had a case conference in which I asked the same thing to the registrar to clarify the matters. And this matter was supposed to be, it's kind of pending. But I didn't know that 1 week later, the lawyer went to take up the enforcement, okay, order on us behind our backs, okay, and then they came to my house with the media, right? That's where I don't know whether I showed you the video where they sprung a media sting operation on us at our house with the bailiff came, the two lawyers came, and a whole bunch of masked photographers outside my house. I didn't even know they were from the media, right? I can show you the video. Okay, so anyway, that thing went, and then they started saying that, oh, my lawsuit was struck out. We were so uncooperative, didn't let people in, and so forth. It's very, very far from the truth. Okay, luckily I took out my phone and I videotaped the entire thing. So now I'm suing 5 media outlets in Singapore who has posted this defamatory article, and including the Singapore Academy of Law. And I'm also made a law society complaint against the lawyers who took up this enforcement. So this
Well
is
done, Iris. You are so gutsy. So you're taking on the lawyers who would stand with the wrong side of history. You're taking on the media who were used as pawns to try to intimidate somebody brave enough to question what was going on. This is really inspiring. So what year did all of that happen? That when you send me the video, what year was that happening?
this year. It happened in February 10th this year when they came to my house.
Iris.
It took me like a few months to figure out exactly what I can do about it legally, and I've done it recently. And besides, and on the 5th of August, I'll be going to the POHA court, the Protection Against Harassment Act court, okay, to face these media and their lawyers.
That is so courageous. Do you have You're amazing. Do you have a lawyer acting for you, or are you putting your own case together?
I'm putting my own case together. My husband helps me a lot. So he's a management consultant. Last time he's quite good with logic and the law. And so he helps me. I mean, our lawsuit is meant to be very simple because they actually said that my defamation lawsuit is struck out. Okay. And then to continuously paint that, oh yeah, I mean, because if my lawsuit is struck out, which means that I'm literally killing people, aren't I? Right? That's what they want.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is a lie. That is a lie. And the only defense to defamation is the truth. And that is not the truth. You were not killing people.
Yeah, and it's still, the matter is still being heard, okay? But they are going around telling the public that it's like I'm such a vexatious person. I'm so uncooperative. I am and then they even put out a lot of smearing things in the media. It's really, really terrible. They have destroyed my reputation beyond repair, But now I mean, of course, the people who know, I mean, they had just, people who know already don't trust them, already know how bad they are. And the more things they do to me, the worse they are actually appearing in the public, actually.
The more they are revealing themselves. And I would argue one thing, Iris, I do not think they can destroy or have destroyed your reputation. Your reputation around the world is really high. There's a lot of respect for your courage, for your truth-telling, for your facing down the bullies, no matter what the personal cost. Your reputation with each of these assaults and attacks from them only grows on the really laudable side, the praiseworthy side. I mean, you're rapid. If they keep doing this, they're going to create Iris Coe as a world leader, a world hero. But I'm serious about that. So there are grounds to say they cannot go on doing these defamatory actions, trying to drag you down. And you have a right, we all have a right to defend ourselves from those who would defame us without any proper research, particularly those who are in positions of power where there's a power imbalance as here. I mean, how did you feel after they ambushed you in your home and did that? Does it shake you up? I mean, I know when I was assaulted at the airport by those cops, I was really shaken, even though I stood my ground calmly with great dignity and firmness. I said to the cop who had physically harmed me very seriously, I said, you will regret this. You will regret this and it will haunt you to the end of your days. You have done great wrong to a woman of 63 who simply asked under what law you are doing this. And I will do whatever I can to expose the bullying behavior you have shown me because I did not deserve this. And I spoke in that way. And I think after he'd roughed me up and he'd hurt my shoulders so badly, my arms, he'd broken my wrist, he'd done terrible things. I think he just couldn't believe the quiet, dignified courage I had. And I think you have the same, Iris. I see it in you.
Thanks. I actually want to show you the video if I can play it. And
Yeah, do.
And I think the world should know about this video because it is really, really disgusting. Calvin Cheng has called the enforcement for some reason and cameraman outside my house, okay, to send me certain things. I don't know what this is about, but it looks like intimidation. You want to take video, we also take lah, never mind, okay?
Yeah. This for the amount stated inside. Okay. So today is the first.
Sorry, may I know have the identities of everybody present here? Since you guys are here to take my photo, your name is? And your name, sir?
I need a
Sorry? Are you the lawyer? You are from Lee and Lee. Sorry, what's the name again? Chong Ming. And the people behind?
We have no idea.
No idea, then why are you here? Wait, call the police. Why are you all here?
I actually need to go off there, but anyway, let us take the photo of these people first now.
Yeah.
Anyway, the enforcement order is why do you just give me A4 size paper?
It's A because that is the order size. Today is the first time we cannot force ourselves to carry out the enforcement today. After today, please contact END.
Okay, I really need to go off, but anyway, you can just pass.
Can.
So this is the Lee and Lee tactic, okay? Ken, thank you very much. Yeah.
There's a few things. So you after this.
Women is not here, you know.
So there's two enforcement order. One is against you. The other one is against both.
Okay. Yeah, he's a lawyer. He said already he's from Lee and Lee.
You're from sorry.
So. Yeah.
I hope your client pays you extra to do this thing, okay?
Okay. Anyway, sorry. May I have address? Sebut phone from Lee and Lee lah. Okay lah. Anyway.
No, I just need to point out a few things. Number one, this is the contact.
Sorry, sir. You're
my name.
You're from you're bailiff officer from State Court.
There's my name.
You're bailiff officer.
Correct.
Okay. How do I address you?
Akram. Yeah. I'm showing your wife. Isn't it?
Okay.
So this is all for you.
Anyway, thanks. I know you guys are doing your job.
So there's a few things regarding the enforcement order. Number one, after this you need to contact them. To the amount in the enforcement order, you have to settle with them. To call them, see how we can come to an arrangement.
We were supposed to have the court was supposed to give a direction for the last court order, you know. But they have gone ahead, okay, to do this. Okay, your law firm has gone ahead to do this. We're supposed to. I mean, since you're the lawyer, I will tell you. Okay, in the last case conference, we were already going to have directions from the court. Okay, this whatever that's happening here is very, very inappropriate because he could have just waited for the judge. Okay, he could have just waited for the judge. Okay, so I suggest you go check it with your colleague, find out what the hell is going on, because in the last case conference we really asked the court for direction regarding the amount owed. Okay, you were present at the case conference. You were there.
Yeah.
So may I know why are you guys jumping the gun?
Our client has every right to pursue the enforcement against the outstanding costs. Yeah?
Okay.
And he has decided.
Besides, I mean before you wait for the judge for the directions, because we asked for the court order to be modified, you know.
Right.
So you guys are not going to wait for the judge.
At the present moment, the court order remains standing, and court clients made a decision to enforce.
Where's the extraction of the court order?
Then the father has been fine.
Okay, I will check with my own legal counsel and check regarding this.
So
Okay.
this is for the other two things. The other things. So number one,
You guys should take down you should take down the camera from your face, okay? Because you don't want me to show the whole world about you, right? Okay, never mind. Yeah, what else?
so now the enforcement order is in force unless if there's nothing stopping it, DND can apply for a new date for me to enforce the order.
Okay, lor, sure lor.
That would mean I would need to enter your house to seize the items inside.
Okay,
you
lor.
understand that?
Yeah.
Can? Okay, that's all for today. Thank you very much.
That was pure intimidation. All those camera people, how weak the lawyer looked. He actually looked ashamed. He knew, well, I felt he knew he was doing wrong. That's not a man who can look back on his career with pride when he's an old man. And neither are those journalists, if they are journalist cameramen. They are simply being used, cowards and bullies. They are being used by the establishment. And the irony, of course, if they ever see this, the irony is that you, the lawyer, and you, those cowardly photographers, willingly trying to intimidate and bully Iris, one day they will come for you if you keep allowing this sort of tyranny to happen. And that man who was giving you all the paperwork. What was extraordinary and why I think it's important to leave the whole piece in is as they try this more and more to intimidate and pick off brave people one by one, there's a real lesson in how you kept so cool. You didn't get hysterical. You didn't let your emotions get out of hand, but you simply pointed out to them, I will film you as you film me. Where are you from? Your law firm name, Lee and Lee. I mean, that law firm should be absolutely ashamed of itself. Absolutely ashamed of itself. This is supporting tyrannical behavior. And then you pointed out, quite rightly, that the judge had everything under control and that there was no need for them to even come to your door, except that somebody wanted you to crack mentally and feel intimidated. And I think that's the biggest lesson in your video, Iris, to stay calm. I did the same at the airport. I knew they wanted to intimidate and hurt and make me feel small and as if I had no power. And I simply spoke as if I was the most powerful woman in the area. And you spoke the same. But it must have been horrendous to have to go through that, Iris. How did you feel?
Well, it was, that incident was not the end because the next few hours, media after media came up with photos of us behind the gates, like as if we are being, we did some wrong and there was like huge public humiliation. And it was like how all people like to do their humiliation rituals. Yeah, this was one of
Yes.
those very, very big ones. Okay. But of course, this is not the first time that they have done this media smear on me. So we took it, and of course we were very upset that they came to the house, and we had to. At first we paid under protest, but then later on we found out that, and then they said, oh, we're not going to accept it if you pay under protest. We're going to come again. Okay, so at that point, after seeking some basic advice, we decided to pay first and then deal with it now. I mean, it's been like now it's about 5 months, and it took us a while to decide and research what are the actions that we can do. And finally, we have done it, and now we'll just watch the dominoes fall, and hopefully those people in charge will do something. Okay, but I just want to tell you that the Law Society president who passed away, his name is Adrian Tan. And back during the pandemic, he did something quite nasty to all of us. He said he gave interview with the CNA and taught the employers how to legally fire the unvaxxed. And then he went on to say that, we should have a bounty for every unvaxxed dragged into the vaccination center. but subsequently
Goodness.
subsequently he got turbo cancer and he died lah. He passed away already. Okay, so but I am describing this because I'm making a law society complaint, and the ex-president used to be so nasty towards all of us. Okay, I hope the new president will not be like this, and that justice can be served, and they will look at this really, really. Singapore's reputation is at stake. As a country that's not going to use lawfare against its citizens, okay, and not going to use. I mean, it's the first time ever they did an enforcement with media. I have never known any other person who was subjected to this kind of actions. Okay, so it's very, very disgraceful what has happened.
I abhor those people who came there. They knew what they were doing. They were coming to intimidate and break an inordinately courageous woman, Iris Coe, who has a well-deserved, shining reputation around the world. And Iris, we'll just keep in touch as this unfolds.
Yes.
I really salute you, and I'm so sorry, my friend. I didn't know that you had gone through such an horrific ordeal.
Well, this is just one of the ordeals in the 4 years, But I'm actually currently writing my book. May I play you a video about this book that I've written?
I would love that. And just before we do, the cats that we heard, were they your cats? It was
yeah, they were my cats.
It was as if they knew these people were evil. It was like they were children going, "Mum, these people are not good energy." Cats are so prescient.
Yeah, there was a lot of sympathy for my cats.
It was. I'm so glad that went viral. Well, play us the excerpt, Iris. I love your laugh. I really do. In the face of all of it.
Okay, this is the book that I'm writing.
Before the headlines, before the lockdowns, before the silence, my life was filled with music. I was a teacher, a conductor, a concert organizer, a free spirit navigating life in the Lion City. I loved harmonies, not controversies. I spent my days helping others find their voices, not defending my own.
From the sound of music to the sound of freedom, this is the true story of a music teacher turned accidental activist. Called not by politics, but by conscience. In a time when fear ruled the headlines and silence was rewarded.
All the predictions which I've made for COVID-19 since the beginning, I've got them all wrong. So chances are, I'm going to get this all wrong as well.
One woman heard a whisper from God and chose to speak.
Public health and so much lives at stake. This is something very, very important. Please give me a thumbs up if you think that this is something that the Singapore public wants. Is this what you guys want?
The Silent Roar is the story of Iris Coe's spiritual and moral awakening during the COVID-19 crisis in Singapore. What began as quiet questions soon became a calling, one that led her into the heart of a national storm. From founding Healing the Divide to standing against censorship, coercion, and injustice, Iris charts a path of faith, courage, and inner compass in an age when compliance was easier than conscience. This is not just a memoir. It is an invitation to awaken, to listen for the whisper, and to find your voice in the noise. Because even in the Lion City, there are roars that do not need to be loud to shake the world.
Iris, that opening where you speak and it shows you teaching the children, and you say you were somebody who dedicated her life to harmony and to hearing and being part of harmonious beauty in the world. It's very moving. And it's not that you've gone away from that. You've simply stood for harmony with the truth, and you've refused to remain silent when you've seen the truth defiled. It's extraordinary. I would really like to read a copy of that book. So where can I order a copy, and where can others order a copy of it, an advance copy?
Yes, they can go to bit.ly/silent-raw-book. Yeah, and then they can. I'm still writing it. The first installment will come in this coming Saturday. And can I just share with you one more video about this book?
I would love that.
It's from the opening page of the.
I believe this will inspire many others to write their voices, to write what they feel.
Yes, and that's what I hope that this will do.
To the Lion City, my motherland. You were born with a roar, but somewhere along the way, we learned to whisper, to trade our voices for comfort, our courage for compliance. This work, every word, every sleepless night, every courtroom breath is not for fame, it is not for vengeance, it is a torch for the legacy of our founding fathers. May we remember who we are, not a people easily tamed, but descendants of survivors, builders, and dreamers. Not slaves to systems, but stewards of truth, dignity, and justice. If history remembers me, let it not be as a troublemaker, but as a daughter who loved this nation enough to speak, to cry like a child pleading with her absent parents, who, in their pursuit of wealth and perfection, forgot what truly mattered. That the most sacred bond between parent and child is not measured in grades, medals, or GTP, but forged in care, patience, and love. A nation is not a machine to be optimized, but a home where the weakest and most vulnerable feel safe, seen, and protected. A nation is not merely a house filled with policies, but a living home shaped by identities and anchored in the values we hold dear. Nation building is not people importing. There are no shortcuts to loyalty, no fast tracks to belonging. What makes us Singaporean must be shared, not engineered. Let this book be a seed of remembrance, resilience, and rising for the day when Singapore roars again, not in fear, but in freedom.
There's a Latin phrase, Filiae Maloris AV, that means daughters of a better age, which is the motto of my secondary school, Raffles Girls' School. And they also defamed me. A few years ago, I found out they put a secondary school question inside Sec 3 question talking about Iris Code and healing the divide, spreading misinformation. I was so shocked when I saw it in the when I saw that they were even they were even trying to brainwash all the secondary school kids from my school. I was shocked.
And I think for your school not to recognize the heroism of you in standing up against the herd, against the compliant, brainwashed, propagandized herd. Every school should be finding those heroes, not the ones who've gone along, but the ones who've had the courage to stand up and say no. And I think one day, Iris, they will say, we were wrong. We were wrong to buy into the government propaganda, and we should have celebrated the individuality and the strength and the power of this woman.
Well,
It's
I'm very
quite
proud.
extraordinary.
I'm proud of the school that I come from. It's the top girls' school in Singapore. It's the top school, even in terms of academics, and I'm very disappointed that the school, we train doctors, lawyers. Many doctors and lawyers come from my school, okay, throughout the generations, and I'm very disgusted that they have politicized education, that they have brainwashed the children, and that they are turning them against what it is to do proper scientific discourse or even proper discussion. I'm very, very disgusted. That's why I actually went to the school in 2023 last year, I think, National Day. I pre-National Day, I went there to give the school principal a pre-action letter warning them that I don't have time to sue them yet. But when
That is
a
gutsy.
couple of people to sue, but not
What
yet.
was the reaction when you went there? What was the reaction?
I have a video. It was quite it went quite viral because she was a bit, of course, shocked to see me there. But somehow I believe that the timing was perfect. The day I went, okay, and it was a half day because the school is celebrating National Day. So I went there, and then I just went to the office, and there she was. And there she was. I mean, a principal, right? She could be anywhere else in school. She could be doing 1,001 things, but there she was at the office, like she was waiting for me.
Some guiding hand. I suspect it may be your mother orchestrating some of this from beyond. And so what did you say? Just with your dignity, you simply pointed out the lies that they were putting out.
No, I just said, look, this is my pre-action letter. I think the school has defamed me, and I'm setting the record straight. I can't remember exactly what I said. I can send you the video of I videotape it. So I put it there, and then
it's like the relief of all of this coming out of you, Iris. Years of taking all these hits, and now there's I think the laughter from you is, do you know what I pick up? It's the laughter of a free soul. It's the laughter of someone saying, there's nothing any of you can do to me anymore. I am free. I am free on this earth. It feels really significant. I suspect that if more and more and more humans stop conforming, stop trying to fit in, just be true to what their soul's guidance says, that I think in some quarters they call it the Buddha laugh, the laugh of a free person. Do you think it's that?
Well, I really don't know what to say. I mean, it's like they've done the most extreme things to me, and I just feel like laughing at them. I'm not trying to. I mean, I don't know what else to do. Sometimes I am quite upset. Okay, and many times I feel upset that I'm facing this Goliath. And oh man, I must tell you something. After I sent off the 6th letter after I wanted to sue the press and all that, right? And then I said I sending off to and actually won a little mini lawsuit, okay? And when I was making the video saying, and this was against a very big law firm, okay? And this was this guy defaming me, saying that that I'm running a terrorist organization, but he was just wanted to pause. So it was a small lawsuit. That means he just wanted to stay the application. And I won that lawsuit, okay?
And just let me get that straight. He was saying you were running a mini terrorist organization.
No, he was saying I'm running a domestic terrorist organization.
Oh, this is ridiculous because you said no to a jab. This is incredible. What happens to the intelligence of these adults? What happens to their critical thinking? It's as if they can't run fast enough towards the handcuffs and say, imprison me, imprison my thinking, imprison my thoughts, take away all skerrick of freedom, every last scintilla of freedom.
He's a professor, by the way. He's a professor at the University.
Iris, I mean, if this was a Monty Python skit, I could really relate to it more than I can relate to you telling me a professor who is meant to teach his students critical thinking is saying because you questioned a jab, you are running a terrorist organization. That is like something out of Monty Python. I don't know if you remember that, but it was a crazy upside down world they did back in the 70s with John Cleese. That is quite crazed. So
I mean, there was more drama, but I will save you the drama. I'll tell you later. But there's a lot of drama from all these lawsuits.
How?
These people, they just feel so, I don't know, they can't, I mean, can't they just be responsible for what they have done and just face it, face it and deal with it. No, don't aggravate it, make it worse.
Tell me that. I think we'll finish there, Iris. It's extraordinary. What would you like to see ultimately? What would, you said in one of those pieces, I'm not somebody who looks for conflict. I don't want vengeance. What is it that you would like from all of this, Iris? And, this interview's gone on longer than I expected, partly because I think your joy and your innate freedom and your intelligence and your determination, your courage will inspire so many other people. But what is it you would like if the Singaporean government came to you, if this professor came to you and said, I will listen to you, Iris, I was wrong, I was out of line, and tell me what I can do to put it right? What would you say to them?
Well, I would just say to them that there are things more important than authority, and that truth, and it's important that we don't lose our soul as we progress as a nation, attaining wealth and perfection, that we do not lose our sense of who we are, and it's made up of people and our voices, what we want this country to be, not just what the leaders want, but they have to listen to the ground. They have to listen to us. And without people, who are we? We're not just a country with a land that you can just keep on importing foreigners. Singapore is only Singapore because of Singaporeans. Without us, and if all of us are gone, then there'll be no more country left, or at least there will be no more Singapore. So this is a very, and also, of course, the other thing which I want to, and which guided me in what I'm doing, is the essence of being human, right? And that's being threatened today by the DNA modification, gene editing software, and so forth, and all the bioterrorism and AI, so many things that are happening that threatens the very essence of what it means to be a human being. And I can see it is a very serious threat. Okay, definitely goes beyond borders. That's why you are doing what you're doing. I'm doing what I'm doing. Everybody else, Jim is doing what he's doing, and so forth. And the doctors are doing what they're doing, because we all can see there is a very imminent and even existential threat to humans human being. We are being, human. It's a certain essence, and our soul, our the ability, this freedom that we all in a way have, our connection to God, our sovereignty, that's all part of it, and it should not be corporatized. Human being should not be corporatized. We do not belong to Pfizer. We do not belong to the government. We do not belong to Bill Gates. Okay, we are sovereign.
Iris Ko, I can't add anything more to that. That was sublime, and you are sublime. We'll follow you closely, and please keep in touch, my friend. You will inspire many, many people with your words, your energy, and even in the face of all of it, your laughter. It's absolutely inspiring to me. Thank you, Iris.
Thank you, Liz.